Daniel Grier, and I, along with my co-counsel Cassandra Flowers, represent the plaintiff in this matter, Mr. Don Phillips. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we're here today because of one thing and one thing only: the mere concept of choices. There are sometimes whenever you make choices that those choices directly affect you, and then other times those choices will affect other people. However, every time those choices have consequences. We're here today at trial because of an accident that occurred on April 7, 1999. The two parties involved, the plaintiff, Mr. Don Hiller, and the defendant, Charles Cutler. What we will show you today is how the decisions that were made by the defendant, Charles Cutler, ultimately resulted in a horrendous accident, most of which was suffered by our client, Mr. Hiller. During the course of this trial, you'll meet Mr. Hiller, a lifelong resident of the state of South Carolina and an elderly man. And he will describe for you how what began as a routine visit to Hemingway ended in a very disastrous event. Mr. Hiller will describe for you how, as any safe driver would, he pulled out of his driveway onto Van Blake Drive, headed towards Highway 41. He'll describe for you how he looked to the left, noticed that there was a truck that was beginning to turn onto Highway 41, and with caution he began to actually merge onto Highway 41 in the northbound direction, ensuring that he would increase his speed so as to be safe. Mr. Hill will also describe for you how that same truck that he saw in an instant zoomed near his vehicle to his left, and in attempting to pass him, consistently began to increase his speed, even to the point where eventually, whenever he reached the Mingo Creek Bridge, that truck driver attempted to re-enter that northbound lane, partially passing him, making him hit the right guardrail, bouncing all the way over to the left lane, hitting the left guardrail, eventually landing back into the northbound lane, and then in an instant, a head-on collision with another trucker that was driving in the opposite direction. During the course of this trial, you will also meet an expert accident reconstructionist and a licensed engineer, Dr. Michelle Benson. Dr. Benson will detail for you her review of photographs, reference points, and all the information that she reviewed in determining who was the sole cause of Mr. Hiller sustaining or being involved in that accident. Dr. Benson will also detail for you information regarding reference points, all depositions that she reviewed in making that determination, along with speed analysis and any other information that she used in determining that the defendant, Charles Cutler,